terrible angle and the terrible lighting and the terrible everything. I made a makeshift phone mount for my car so I'm hands-free. But I am driving up to Layton to see Jake and Izzy, and I figured on the way up that I would just vlog and give you guys a story time. So I was just on video chat with Jake and Izzy asking them what I should talk about. Sorry, I hope this isn't annoying, but you know, oh well. Gotta say goodbye to Dad. Bye, Dad. Okay. This is like a 40-minute drive, but I promise I won't vlog for 40 minutes because, you know, that's obsessive and obnoxious. But Izzy was saying that I should tell stories about our haunted apartment that we lived in together last year. Yeah, it's almost been a year since we moved out of the apartment, and we lived there for about 9 or 10 months. So, our apartment was extremely haunted, and nobody believed me and Izzy for the longest time. But a few of the things that happened before we started realizing, oh hey, there are ghosts. Well, I've always been around ghosts. Like, I'm a haunted person, I guess. So, it wasn't like a big deal for me. But it kind of was for Izzy and for Jake and my boyfriend at the time, Andrew. But a couple things that happened was right after we got Toby in February of last year. I would leave and I would keep him in our room because he'd be naughty and try and go poop in their room. So I'd put him in our room while I was at work or whatever, and there would be times when Izzy would think that I was home because she would hear a voice trying to tell Toby to calm down because he would whine because he missed me because he's attached to me so obsessively. Sorry, I can't look at you. I hope it's not too distracting. Okay, we're going. But she would hear a woman's voice coming from my room, and she would think it was me because who else would be in my room? So she would like go in and see because she had thought that I'd left or whatever for work or wherever I was going in that time, and there would be nobody in there except for Toby. She'd be like so weirded out by it. She'd be like, what the hell? So she'd tell me when I'd come home and whatnot, and I'd be like, well, that's weird. I mean, at least if there is a ghost, it's a nice ghost trying to tell Toby to be quiet, but still a little worrisome nonetheless. And there would be times where either Izzy or I would be in the kitchen and we'd think that either of us was calling for the other. And so our kitchen, the way it was set up was you couldn't quite see everything from the kitchen area. You could see from the dining area because it was only a half wall, so it was kind of like almost a bar area, but not quite because it's an apartment, it's cheap, and it wasn't that cool. But from the actual kitchen area, it was like a little dead end part where, okay, here's the fridge, and then the stove, and then the sink. So you couldn't quite see out into the living room. And so we would think, oh, Izzy wants to know what I'm doing, or vice versa, whatever, and turn around and no one would be in the living room. TV's not on, Izzy's in her room reading, or I'm gone, or whatever. And we're like, well, who the hell was just talking to me? That makes no sense. Whatever, brush it off, not a big deal. You know, maybe we were just hearing things. But it did actually call Izzy's name once, and that was pretty creepy. A few times in the hallway there were two doors. One was to like the furnace, and the other was to the washer and dryer setup. Now the washer and dryer setup, the door fell off the hinges. There are two hinges because it's a door that kind of works like this, where you push it open and then it pushes that part open too, if that makes sense. It fell off both of the hinges within a week. And it like fell on top of me when I went to open it, so that was annoying. But that one we took off and just kind of put it in the room, in the little storage area, so we wouldn't have to worry about the door at all. And we would just put it back on at the end of the lease. Not a big deal. But the furnace one we hardly ever opened because there was no need for us to get in there. So there would be times where we would find the door either pushed open to where it was like this instead of like this, or just one of the hinges would come off. Not the first one, but the middle one. So it would open like a normal door instead of folding like it's supposed to. This is rush hour traffic. I don't know why I start driving when it's rush hour traffic. Every single time I go up to Layton, I'm like, oh, let's go like 5 o'clock. That's a good idea. Anyways. So it would just, the one hinge would come off and the door would just open completely. And that makes no sense. I'm like, how does that happen? I don't know. But it happened more than once. And so we thought, well, maybe that's like where they get all their energy from, because there's so much like electricity and just all that sort of stuff. Excuse me. Within the furnace room. So you'd think maybe that's where they get their energy from or whatever, if you believe in ghosts. But that was a thing. And so that was one of the most physical... Excuse you! I don't know what that was. But that was one of the most physical things that we ever saw happen within the apartment. And I've dealt with quite a few different spirits or things like that where they've moved different things. And that was pretty intense. Like usually most spirits, if you believe, they can't do that. So we started doing these EVP sessions while the boys were gone, because the boys didn't like it. They thought we were like summoning demons, which is not the case. Like there are certain ways to do certain things if you believe. And the only thing we were doing was sitting in the dark, because, you know, might as well set the mood, with our phones recording and or taking flash pictures. So we did probably 3 or 4 sessions in the apartment to see if we could catch any voices or any noises or anything like that. And we did get quite a few noises. I don't think we ever got an actual voice, but I'm not sure on that. You can't quote me on that. There's a truck next to me. Sorry if the window being open is loud. It's hot in here. It's like a sauna. Are you excited back there? Toby's in the back seat. I don't know if you can see him. But we did about 3 or 4 sessions in the apartment, and we did get some evidence, if you would call it that, some proof. The main thing that we noticed was we did use candles, I think 3 out of the 4 times that we did it, just to have some sort of lighting so we could see each other's faces and whatever. But they actually started to really like the candles, the light itself from the flame. And we would ask the spirits to either blow the candle out or to make it move a certain direction, like clockwise or counterclockwise. And there was one session where it did, and we tried to debunk it as far as we could. We put another candle in the exact same spot, made sure there was no draft and no wind or anything making it move. And it was pretty intense. Like it was doing it on cue almost the entire time, which I thought was pretty crazy. Now we're getting on the freeway. Oh my god. What else did we do? There was this video I was taking Snapchat, and I was talking about the spirits with Izzy, and Jake and Andrew were also there at the time. So I was taking a Snapchat because we were just talking about it, and I was just goofing off doing whatever. And all of a sudden there was an orb that went across the screen. It was like a green orb, and I'd never seen anything green. I've seen blue lights, I've seen white lights. I have pictures from those EVP sessions of white lights going across my screen in the middle, pitch black, you know. So there was no light coming from anywhere. So that was kind of cool. But I've never seen green. And so I went back with another Snapchat and did it again, and it didn't come up. So I was like, okay, it wasn't like a reflection off the light or anything. Getting over it. I need to put coolant in my car. This is good. This is good. Now that I'm on the freeway and we'll be driving for another 40 minutes, I need coolant. Awesome. Anyways. So I did it one more time, and I was talking about it, and I still have this Snapchat. I'll see if I can, like, put it in here somewhere. Maybe at the end of the vlog. But I went across talking to Andrew, and I saw it again, and he didn't believe me, and I was like, it's attached to you! I zoomed in, and it was really funny. It's like an inside joke between our little group. But it was just so strange to see it go across the screen. I was like, what the hell is that? So that was pretty cool to see. We believe that there were 3 different spirits in our apartment in itself. There was a woman, I think, with blonde hair, a man with dark hair, and then a little boy. I'd have to ask Izzy to be sure, but I know there was a younger child. But I'm always skeptical about younger children's spirits, because if you believe in demons, demons often portray themselves as children so they can gain your trust or whatnot, on and on. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you guys believe, but I believe in that kind of stuff, at least to a point. But it was pretty crazy just to see all that happen, like in a place that I had never lived before and that I was currently living in. Because in my house where my parents live, like, it's always been haunted, and it's just something that I've been used to, and I don't really get uneasy very often. It's not something that I worry about or anything. But in the apartment, there were a couple times where it got uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, I have lots of ghost stories, so if you guys want to hear more about this vlog is already 12 minutes long, so I figure I might as well end here while I'm ahead. And I don't want to crash or anything because I'm talking to myself, basically. And it's hot in here, and I really need to roll down the window. But if you guys want any more story times about ghosts or paranormal, supernatural, about anything really, give me topics to talk about, and I will talk about them. I will debate with you. I will give you my opinions. I will do research on anything that you guys want to talk about. But I will let you go. And leave in the comment if you believe in ghosts, if you don't, if you've had any experiences yourself. Share with people. See if they have had any experiences, especially in such a popular place like an apartment where multiple people have lived there before you in different apartment parts. Like, in one building there's so many apartments, you know, you never know if a spirit is coming from one or the other, whatever. But let me know what you think. Share around, subscribe, give a like if you enjoyed, and if you like these car vlogs, if the quality is any good, I don't know, I'll have to review it because it's probably a little loud. But if you like these car vlogs, let me know, and I will do more stuff like this. But I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.